The committee is a very collegial group of people. We have long-standing relationships. We have had many discussions over the years about what we should do for the U.S. economy. But sometimes there are disagreements, and that's what it should be. If two people always agree, one of them is unnecessary as far as I'm concerned. So each of the 19 people around the table brings different perspectives, different points of view to the table. Sometimes they make different judgments about what the economy needs at a given time. And so sometimes, I mentioned before, there are 12 voters at every meeting for the FOMC's decisions. And if a voter doesn't agree with the decision, of course, they're free to vote no. And sometimes, of course, we do get no votes. But that's part of the process, and that's part of how the FOMC makes decisions which are in the broad interest of the U.S. economy and of the American public.
Everybody has their own way of thinking about things, but we all have to have some framework. I always hesitate to use the word theory, because as soon as I use the word theory, great minds shut down. Most people don't like theory. Economists seem to love it, and policymaker economists have their own set of theories, their own set of models. Everybody has to have a framework for thinking through a problem where you cast aside all the irrelevant information and get down to what are the 3 or 4 or 5 things that are most important. Do we agree on these things? No, but I think that's what makes an FOMC meeting the beautiful choreography that it is. You have great minds in there. Some of the leading economists in the country are sitting around that table. And some of the second tier of economists are sitting around the outer edges of that room, acting as advisors. At the end of the day, the committee has to come to some consensus, and they strive very hard to come to a consensus of what is the most right thing to do, knowing that no matter what you do, some things are going to not work as well as intended. There will be some unintended consequences. You can't get everything right. But at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is get things as right as you can for 310 million American citizens. And that's one of the beauties of the Federal Reserve. That's the focus. It's not winning this particular game or scoring a point here. The game is to make the U.S. economy as healthy and productive as possible.